Hello, this is a video to help anyone that's struggling with installing a PlayStation 4 new hard drive, a 2TB one. We've chosen this system. Now bear with me because everyone knows how to do this and there are videos all over the internet, quality ones and poor ones, but this is something that I was completely unaware of. This is what I like to call Mark 1 PlayStation 4, which came out at launch. This has a pull-out tray here and the normal PlayStation screw, and it's extremely easy to put in a new hard drive that's less than 9.5mm, and there's loads of videos about the update file and so forth. This is not what this video is about. Also with this console, this has the gloss faceplate, the gloss one. Can you put the light on please? The gloss faceplate. Here is a PlayStation 4 purchased today. This model was made in April of 2015. This is what I like to call the Mark II PlayStation 4. This is a completely different system to the PlayStation 4 internally. This system is very easy to install a new hard drive. You just unscrew this screw, pull out the tray and pop it in, and then do the update file, plug and play. This system is an absolute nightmare. What Sony has done is use like a car radio tabs here. So these have to be bent out before you can remove the hard drive. This sits in a tray. Inside of this, once you've pulled out the hard drive, there is two clips here that must be bent out before you can access the back of the hard drive. So they're a nightmare to get in, and the only way I could replace the drive, even if I wanted to put in the stock 500GB drive, let alone the 2TB drive, is to actually remove the entire cover, which was, to be honest, a bastard, excuse my French, but it was, to get that off because it's got additional clips to it on the Mark II model, and to actually remove this entire silver plate, including the chip that houses this and including the 8 motherboard chips. I'm not a technical expert, but I'm just making people aware of this. And you have to remove this, and there are loads of screws with torque head and Phillips screws on them. But the normal 2TB drives, which are 9.5mm, does not fit into this. So Sony saying that you can update the hard drives in all PS4 is misleading, because this drive is a 9mm. It is the exact same drive that I had in this console, this Seagate expansion 2TB, which works absolutely fine and is well fast enough for the PS4 and works absolutely perfectly in an old PS4 which has been out for 2 years. Yet this system purchased today, and this is a model number of sorry, not a model number, it was an April model. It's a completely different system. As you can clearly see, the metal tray underneath is completely different. I haven't taken this plastic case off because there's no need, and to be honest it's a sod to get off and on, and you feel like you're using too much force and it's going to break. But this, I had to get this off because I could not even put the normal hard drive back in without completely taking off this entire heatsink plate here. So that's a nightmare for a start. So I had to take all of that off, which exposes the motherboard and all the chips, which you must be very careful they're not anti-static. So the normal drive doesn't fit. So what I've had to do is to slide this tray out and not put the mounting screws in. But because it's got rubber grommets in the side, when you actually power the drive, it doesn't vibrate. So there's nothing actually holding my 2TB drive to this tray at all, only the connection at the back. But because it's got the rubber grommets, it doesn't move. And then you've got to bend up the 4 tabs on the bottom of this pull-out tray, because it's got like radio pull-out trays. Like when you get in car radios, the old-fashioned ones, you'd have to pull out the connectors to stop people nicking them. Well, this has exactly the same system, and it also has 2 little clips here that you have to bend over, and that also helps secure the drive. But the only way I could fit in a normal 9.5mm drive was to use the system without any screws in, so it's just being held by rubber grommets. So luckily I'm not going to have to stand the console vertically, and I'm going to have to be extremely careful now when I pull it out. But I wanted to make people aware that the information that Sony provide on their website, where they say you can upgrade and all this, it's more or less completely invalid, because you can't pull this system out. You can't just slide off the faceplate and pull this system out and plug and play like you used to be able to. You have to take the console to pieces. to actually, you know, to do it. And if you're not willing to do that, then don't buy the 500 gigabyte system and expect to easily do it, because you won't. Get the 1 terabyte system, or don't get it at all, basically, because it is a nightmare to do. And it's taken me a few hours to do it carefully, because I've not taken one of these systems to pieces before, and I've seen people do complete strip down guides on YouTube, but I was unwilling to break a system that's just cost me over 300 quid. So I had to do it very, very carefully. But it is a nightmare to do. But I wanted to make people aware that there is a Mark II version of the PlayStation 4 already in the internals. It doesn't look any different. It's not a slimline, of course. Everyone knows this. But as you can clearly see, that system has a raised groove, which enables the hard drive to slot in very, very easily. This has a raised groove, but it is much, much smaller. The hard drive in itself is exactly the same 500 gigabyte that they usually use in the PS4s, and the hard drive that I replaced it with is exactly the same as what I put in the original PlayStation 4. But they've made the system a nightmare, basically, to do it, because once you've pulled it out, the actual connectors at the back here drop down. They're on like it's not a spring, but they flex. The motherboard flexes, so you can't slot the drive back in without removing this base plate. I've tried for hours, and it was just an absolute nightmare. So I just wanted to make people aware that if they're thinking about upgrading their hard drive in the brand new system, it is a very, very hard thing to do. And you can identify the new system because they're all matte. The new black systems are all matte. This has a gloss placeplate, and it actually has the PlayStation 4 logo. This one has the PlayStation 4 logo, but it's not highlighted in silver. It's just like that, and the whole top of the console is matte. And I was not aware of this because I bought the hard drive a number of weeks before I bought the system, and we ended up in this situation. Anyway, sorry for my ramblings, but it's been annoying, and I wanted to make people aware of the situation. Okay, signing off for now. Take care.